After a few seconds of silence, she finally speaks back up.
Could I take a look at the book now?
Oh, here. I hand over the book and her eyes gloss over its cover.
Ah, that makes sense.
Without even looking at its synopsis, Yuri returns it.
How far in are you, Hallie?
Just past the first chapter, so not very.
Oh, so you still have a ways to go, I see. I picked up that same novel a few months ago. It's partially the reason why I've taken a liking to surreal horror.
This isn't a horror novel, though.
You're right, it isn't. But this novel places a strong emphasis on introspection, a theme that is often evoked within the context of surrealism. The way surrealism delves into the characters' minds, unraveling their thoughts and emotions in such unconventional ways. That's why I was drawn to it. I appreciate the challenge it poses to traditional storytelling, the blurring of reality and imagination, the unexpected twists. It all adds layers of unpredictability. It's like navigating a labyrinth of the mind. You never know what's around the next corner.
I see.
Oh, I'm rambling again, aren't I? I'm sorry, Hallie.
Didn't I already tell you there's no need to apologize for that? We're in a literature club. Being passionate about literature is exactly what I'd expect from you guys.
Right.
Don't finish that sentence. She nods whilst averting her gaze from me entirely.
So, what brought you to choose that novel?
Nothing. Put simply, it was a product of random selection.
Oh, interesting.
I thought the same thing. Not only was I able to avoid the hassle of checking synopses, but he also came out with exactly what I was looking for. Her gaze stays locked onto the novel in my hand for a moment.
Say, Hallie, do you believe in fate?
Why do you ask?
Well, that novel you chose was actually inspired by a tarot card, namely the moon. While they aren't quite associated with fate itself, your method of choosing could be interpreted as a sign of sorts.
I shrug my shoulders at her response. Perhaps you're overthinking things a little, Yuri. That reasoning of yours could work in fiction, but it just doesn't translate the same when applied to the real world.
Maybe you're right.
I've enjoyed my time with the first chapter, regardless of whether it's some sign or not. So I give that as my reasoning as to why I'll continue to read through it during the off time we have in club.
As long as you find your time here to be enjoyable, Hallie.
Over the next 15 minutes, Yuri and I started to discuss the book she let me borrow a while back, The Portrait of Markov. Actually, it's less a discussion and more of a damn book review at this point. Not that I don't find it somewhat interesting, but rather that I'm starting to realize just how different I am to these club members. If that this here half as enthusiastic about literature as her, then I'm really no less than an outcast.
You understand what I mean, right, Hallie?
Yeah. I don't at all. There was more there. Yuri. Upon checking the caller ID, I immediately freeze up. A call. Why this early? He shouldn't have a reason to...
Is everything alright, Hallie?
I do have to take this call, however. So, god damn text boxes. So excuse me for a second. Before she can utter another word, I've already made my way towards the door of the club room, swiftly heading out into the corridor. No, corridors. After checking up and down the hall for any passerby, I answer the call. Hello. I'm starting to think you wouldn't answer, boy. You weren't at the apartment. Where the hell are you? I'm at the school. School? That should have ended over an hour ago. What more could you possibly be doing over there? I was at my club. It runs for another hour. Club? Don't kid me. Even if you are in one, you should have known to inform me about it. It's the truth. Oh, really now? Yeah. You should know that I have no reason to lie. Lying by omission is still lying, Hallie. What are you... Well, whether you're in a club or not, it makes no difference to me. I need to talk to you in person, now. But... I don't care what you have going on right now. There's only so many days in a month that I can free up my time to come down, Hallie. Even though I only have about an hour before I'm expected elsewhere, so I won't be able to come pick you up. Meet me at the usual spot, and don't be late. Understood. He hangs up the call abruptly. Well, shit.
Is everything okay, Hallie? You left so suddenly. Are you sure? You look quite...
I'm fine. I do have to leave, however. Something came up. Apologies for the late notice.
It's okay, Hallie, as long as you're alright.
Yeah. I grab my bag, walking right back to the door where I just left from.
Wait.
Yes?
If we plan to meet up next weekend, then we'll need to need each other's contact information.
Oh, right. Taking out my phone, Yuri and I quickly exchange numbers.
Thank you.
No reason to thank me, Yuri. This is for the festival.
Right.
With that cleared up, I make my way out of the room once more. After spending a good half an hour looking for Sayori, I still see no signs of her anywhere. She's not answering her phone, she's not at the club. Is she even still at school? Or at the school? Sayori never said anything about having to go home early, so that can't be it. But it's not like I can see her anywhere around. That's the best I can assume at this point. Oh, how the tables have turned. I made fun of Sayori for checking the entire school for Yuri yesterday, and yet here I am doing the same for her. It may be ironic of me to say this, but this feels different than that. She wasn't upset like Yuri was at all. There'd be no reason for her to avoid us like with Yuri. Hold on a second, did he say... hold on, let me just check the narration real quick. Da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da. Still see no sign of her. Okay, she's not answering her phone. Okay, he did try the phone and she didn't answer. Just making sure. Something must have happened sometime before the club meeting. If so, I can only imagine what that might be. I once again checked down both ends of the hallway before taking a seat at a nearby bench in defeat. I'll just have to question her about it tomorrow. A part of me hoped to see her walking down the hall right as I say that, but of course she doesn't. I say that's enough with the wishful thinking, but I have to head back now and let the others know. Standing up from the bench as soon as I sat down, I hesitantly make my way over to the courtyard. Many thoughts crossed my mind on my way across the school campus. Pardon me. What happened with her? Is she alright? Why wouldn't she tell us about her absence, and the like? But as worried as I am, even I know there's only so much I can do at the end of the day. Everything will be alright, I keep telling myself. That's the only thing I can do. Reaching the other side of the courtyard, I overhear some commotion just around the entrance of the main building.
I've had just about enough of you running away from me. Are you gonna pay up or what?
Huh? Pay up? What's going on over...
But I already told you. I don't have any more than that.
Wait, that's... Without sparing a second, I quickly run over to where I heard the noise. Sayori! A couple of girls stand around her, one of whom has her pinned against the wall.
Oh, look, your other boyfriend is here, say you. After the neat, that is Eli. Get lost, will you? This is none of your business.
I attempt to run over to Sayori, but the two other girls move into my way. Get out of my way!
You didn't hear her. No, didn't you hear her? She told you to get lost.
Not wasting any time, I attempt to push past them, but the two of them are able to hold me back. I attempt again and again and again, but to no avail. Eventually, the taller girl pulls me away from the group entirely. And before I'm able to brace myself, she uses her full force to push me into the wall just behind me. Whoa, ah! Jeez, Hallie, how big of a wimp are you? God damn it, that hurt.
Eli! I just have on had it with you. Look, the sooner you hand over my money, the sooner you can go back to your little club.
Money? That's what these girls are after? That's right. Hallie mentioned there was some girl who tried extorting money out of her. There's no way she's still... As I was attempting to use the wall as support to stand myself back up, the two girls stand over me.
We want you to get lost, you know.
Gah. I'm not leaving. Gah! Before I can fully stand up, the short-haired girl kicks me back to the floor. I clutch my hand over the side of my shoulder where she hit, the pain immediately coursing throughout my entire arm upon contact. Ah, that's definitely going to leave a bruise. The two girls back away, their attention focusing back towards Sayori. Shit, Sayori!
Please, just stop already. Huh, so now you magically have the money on you? But this is still only half of what you owe me. You're gonna have to cough up way more than that.
No, Sayori, don't give in. As much as I want to say this, I just can't find the strength to muster those words. I'm completely winded.
Your other boyfriend isn't here to bail you out, Sayori. And this one, please, he can't even pick himself off the floor. Until you've paid off what you did, I won't stop coming back. So just hand over the money and this will all be over.
So it is true. Sayori told me it all ended after Hallie had helped her that day. But if this has been going on for a while, then why hasn't she said anything about it? That doesn't matter right now. I need to help her. Using the wall as support once more, I stand myself back up on my 2 feet. Right as I do, the other girls look back over to me. No matter how I look at it, I just won't be able to get around to both of them. Looking around, there's not a teacher or a staff member in sight either. Even if I were to grab one's attention, it'd already be too late. If I can't get around them, then I'll just have to go through them. Running at the two of them, I make sure to align myself on the side of the shorter girl. The girl puts her arms up, expecting me to throw a punch, but as I get near, I push her off to the side and just barely squeeze by the two.
Whoa! You
I put myself between the girl and Sayori, instinctively stretching out my arm in her defense. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. It's not exactly like I can get her out of this mess with us being surrounded on both sides and all. Even still, it's better than feeling like a helpless spectator. Don't you have something that belongs to her?
are! Do you understand what you're doing, Eli?
She holds up the stack of cash Sayori gave her.
This all belongs to me, not her. It's payment for her breaking my phone. I bet you didn't even know she did that. So why the hell are you butting into our business?
Because she's my friend. I'm not gonna just sit around and let her get hurt.
I would have hurt her if she'd just gotten me a replacement, you know. But fine, if you want to be her little knight in shining armor, then why don't you start by having her pay off her debt?
Like hell I will. She doesn't owe you anything, so you can forget about it. The girl stares at me in silence, a smirk creeping onto her face.
Behind you!
Huh? See, what I would have done was just filmed them as blackmail. Ah! The side of my head is pounding as I find myself face down on the concrete floor. What happened? I take a moment to survey the immediate area, finding a pair of feet which stand just beside me. I'm too dazed to make out any more than that, but I am able to hear a voice speak up.
Stop it!
Right, Sayori. She stands just over me, as a couple pairs of footsteps approach us.
Just leave him alone. He has nothing to do with this. Oh, please. He did that to himself when he decided to play the hero. If you really want this to stop so bad, then just hand it over already.
Those girls. Shit. I need to get up. Placing one hand on the floor, I slowly begin to push myself onto my feet, starting by getting up to my knees. I'm still a little dizzy, but the situation becomes much clearer to me now. Much like I was to her earlier, Sayori stands between me and the other 3 girls. There's a tense atmosphere between the 4 of them as they await Sayori's answer, but she stays silent.
Now you're making me impatient. You have more on you, I know it. I'm not an idiot, you know. This is your last chance to just hand it over, or else I'll just have to take it from you by force.
The bully stepped closer to Sayori, but she doesn't budge. Steps. Shit, if she just stands there, they're gonna hit her. Placing one foot flat on the floor, I feel the pain in my head subside. And using whatever strength I got, I fully stand myself back up and onto my 2 feet. Again. I think I've seen just about enough, said someone. Huh? We all look towards the sound of the voice to see the principal staring at us with a stern look on his face.
Principal?
A little birdie told me about some commotion out in the courtyard. To think it'd be from you again, Akiko. Akiko, huh? So that's her name.
It's not... It's not what you...
Would you mind explaining to me what's going on here?
We were just...
The 3 of them stay silent, provoking the principal to speak up once more. I want to see the 3 of you in my office. Now.
But...
Now. The frightened face of the bully skews into a grimace as she glares back at the 2 of us. In spite of that, she hands back the money she took from Sayori before the 3 of them walk off. Jeez, the bitch to the bitter end, isn't she? The principal soon turns his attention towards us. Is everything alright, you 2?
Yeah, thank you.
Ditto. Ah, damn it. They really had us back there. He looks to me, a concerned expression on his face, growing on his face. Are you sure? You have quite the bruise on you. Yeah, I'm fine. Ugh. I don't know, I feel all the pain from when I first got up come rushing at me all at once. Ah, damn it, that still hurts. Would you like me to escort you to the nurse? No, I'm fine, really, but thank you. If you insist. Anyway, I deeply apologize for what happened today. If only I had been informed about the commotion earlier, I would have or could have prevented it from escalating the way it did. Rest assured, I'll make sure those 3 girls won't bother you again. If something like this ever happens again, please don't hesitate to come to me or a teacher, okay?
We will, thank you. Just as the principal begins to walk off, he abruptly stops in his tracks, turning back to us.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Before you head off, would you mind if I asked the 2 of you a question?
No, not at all.
It's about Hallie. I take it you both are friends of his, right?
Sayori and I share a confused look before responding. Of course, how'd you know?
It was only an assumption. I recognized Miss Sayori as the vice president of the literature club, of which he recently joined. It's something that slipped my mind when he was admitted to your club, so I'd like for you to relay this information to your club president for me.
He's not in trouble, is he?
No, but he did have a run-in with Miss Akiko and a friend of hers on Monday.
Wait, he did?
Yes, but not to worry. He's not in any sort of trouble. However, he can be quite the troublesome kid, so I'd like for you all to keep an eye out on him for me.
Huh, what do you mean? The principal stays quiet for a brief moment, hesitating on his response.
He will, at times, react to situations impulsively. But he's a good student, so I'd like for you all to keep him away from making any rash decisions, that's all. Unfortunately, I cannot share any more than that. Student records are confidential, after all. But I have confidence that your little group will be a great influence on him.
Right.
I apologize for taking up so much of your time. You're free to head back to your club. You two have a great afternoon now.
The 2 of us say our thanks to the principal before he takes his leave. I turn to Sayori, whose gaze remains fixed on the ground. Silence looms between the both of us as we struggle to find the right words to say to each other. Sayori, are you sure you're okay? I'm so sorry, Eli! If I had never dragged you into this, I wonder you wouldn't have gotten hurt! What? Huh? Sayori, you didn't drag me into anything. The club was worried about you. I was worried about you. Oh no, and tank text boxes. But it was because I didn't pay them to you. I mean it, Sayori. In the end, those girls will stop bothering you now. Knowing that much makes this tiny little bruise feel like nothing. And there's no need to pin what happened on yourself like that. You don't owe those girls a damn thing. The only one to blame for what happened is them. Her phone may have broke, but it doesn't suddenly give them the right to force you to buy her a new one, you know. Now come on, let's head back now. I'm sure the others have been worried sick about us. Although she stays quiet, I notice a smile slowly reappear on her face. Soon enough, the 2 of us walk side by side on our way back to the club.